G'day legends and g'day superstars. It's Peps and it's J-Dog, and it means it's Lace Out's round 22 review for a cracking week of AFL football. Thank you to everybody joining us live on the chat, listening to us on your favourite podcast app, or even watching us on the YouTube. Yes, the YouTube, not that YouTube. The YouTube, the Lace Out AFL podcast YouTube channel. So response was really, really good last week. So more and more people are getting onto us, and we love it, and we love making the content for you because it's all about footy, and it's just how you want it. Lace Out. Like I said before, I'm the host, Christopher Pepper. The co-host with the most is my superstar, my best mate, Jamie the J-Dog Wallis. And I tell you what, mate, apparently there was a round of football on the weekend, but you wouldn't have known about it because the Matildas stole the show.
Yeah, well, that was my weekend anyway. That was it for my weekend. Yep. Anything else happened, I wasn't invested. I was just invested in that and that alone.
It was magnificent just to see the girl. I haven't seen a country this united. I don't know if I've ever seen a country more united than this.
Socceroos?
Really?
2000.
Oh, yes, 2008.
2008, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon to get into the World Cup. Yeah, I reckon there's a bit of merit to that one, big guy. But I think the thing is that with this one, it's all about the game being in our country, and everybody just wants a piece of it, and it is awesome. I'm absolutely loving it, and fingers crossed they kill it on Wednesday night, because this country is going to go even big. The ratings, I think it was the second biggest ratings ever since Kathy Freeman's big run. Like, that's how big the ratings are, and it's going to be even bigger. And like I said, we'll go into it in a moment. But I was at the G on Saturday night, and my goodness, there were roars going around the crowd. And it wasn't for the guy that was running around the boundary line trying to win a $100 Nike voucher. No. It was for the Matildas, the penalties, everything. It was just going berserk. It was oohs, ahs.
Sound like
the wedding night.
Peps. I wasn't at the game this weekend.
No.
When the footy was on and the penalties were happening,
yep.
Was that on the big screen or people watching on their KO subscriptions?
Well, here's the thing, right? Everybody was watching it in the bars because they turned it off. So they turned the game off after the regulation time had finished.
Right.
So for about 40 minutes, we had to sit there and watch all the different boring ads for sponsors and so forth while everybody was leaving to go into all the bars. And the bars were humming.
I didn't see the first probably half of the Carlton-Melbourne game.
I don't think the players did, because apparently if you have a look at quarter-time score, no one turned up for the first quarter of that game.
Oh, really?
And just the roars. I can tell you now, Carlton and Melbourne supporters, like we've said a little bit earlier on, it was the Grappa versus the Grange Cup. And normally they would be punching heads with each other. But they were arm in arm through the penalties because no one could get any coverage. So I haven't even got the fry pan out yet. But if I had the fry pan out for the first time this year, I'd be fry panning the MCG because you couldn't even get reception to even watch it on your phones. They told everybody to go onto their personal devices, and you couldn't even watch it. So everybody went to the bars. And so you're sitting there, and people are getting texts from their wives or from their husbands telling them what's going on. You're waiting, you hear a roar for when they scored, and you hear a ooh when they scored, and a when there was a save. It was amazing. Amazing. And apparently they showed the final sort of score at the end of the first quarter, and the crowd went nuts, even though they knew the result. They didn't care. So, yeah, it was awesome. It was
Peps.
awesome. Yes, mate.
You just got to stop being a tight ass and get yourself off the public MCG Wi-Fi.
No, I couldn't even use mobile.
Jump on the 5G.
Sorry, J-Dog. I've just bought a pool. I can't afford 5G. I can't even get 4G.
Get off the MCG public network and actually just stump into your own gigabyte data a month, yeah?
I had to save my money to pay for somebody's contract who we're going to get into in a moment too. Mate, we've got a cracking week. Let's get into the footy because it was an absolute belter of a weekend. We've got all the usual suspects are about today. So spinning the magnets, we'll go through the ladder. Have a bit of a look at that because that is like there are still 12 teams that can fit into 8 spots here. It's going to be absolutely cool. It's great to have the great man Tommy Roker on board. Jules Julio, we haven't seen him for a couple of weeks. We've got him on board as well too, so it's great to have. He's like a not as good looking version of Mike Tyson, Jules Julio. And that's to say something because he's not really in that much of a good
I'm trying to process what that would look like.
Hey, he's a good bloke, let's be honest. We've got all and Fantail's going to be back, and we have got a beautiful little segment coming off from last week, which we still haven't got a name for. So if you can help us out with that, throw it in the chat or throw it in the comments of the YouTube channel. We haven't got a name for our brand new segment, but we'll get onto it because it's going to be something that's going to be sticking with a lot of us, and we definitely know what it's all going to be about. All right, big boy, let's go and have a look at this ladder, and let's go and have a look what's going to be setting up because we've got 2 rounds of football to go. Some people are going to be planning finals. Some people are going to be planning end of season trips. But I can tell you now, there's probably everybody down to Adelaide is still in with a chance here. So Collingwood had their win on Friday night, but geez, they made them work hard for it. Geelong, Brisbane Lions had another good win. Port Adelaide, they've set themselves apart. Those 3 are locked in for a top 4 spot. This is where it gets a bit interesting. There's only one team that can pinch a top 4 spot from Melbourne. That's Carlton. St Kilda had a great win on the weekend. Sydney had a good weekend. Western Bulldogs, well, they're absolutely putrid at the moment. They couldn't beat an egg at the moment. They're awful. Essendon, good to see that they continue their fine form of almost losing to not just the bottom team, but the second bottom team 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Could you imagine if they'd lost 2 weeks in a row?
Oh.
We could have finished the podcast on a high for the season.
Almost would have equaled the Matildas getting up if Essendon had lost that game.
Wouldn't have cared if Matildas lost. That would have given us enough content for about 4 years. GWS, a bit of a bad loss. We'll get into that. Geelong, stiff. Adelaide, they had a crack at Brisbane. They've had some pretty good work over their away games, but they just can't seem to get the win that they need to stay in that top 8 contention. Richmond are out of it. Fremantle, well, they've just moved a step up. Gold Coast, what a tease, but some amazing news that's come out of Gold Coast today, which I'll let you know about, J-Dog. Hawthorn, another great win. They are the killers of the moment. Don't worry about Mr. Brightside. We're talking about Hawthorn. And then we've got North Melbourne and West Coast. There's 18% difference there. So, unfortunately, Harley Reid looks like he's going to go West Coast and another perfect career will be ruined. So, big guy, what do you see happening at the top of the ladder?
I made the call last week that the top 8 is set.
Yep.
And after the final 5 minutes of the Western Bulldogs game, I'm not convinced that that's going to stay the way.
All right. So if Western Bulldogs drop out, right?
Yeah.
You've got Essendon, GWS, Geelong, and Adelaide. Who would you like to have in?
Who would I like to have in versus who will get in?
Yep.
I would like to have... No, I'd like to have the Western Bulldogs in. That's it.
Just leave it as it is?
I don't want to see Essendon in because I just don't think they've deserved it this year.
No.
Giants?
Not after the last couple of weeks.
Giants would be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be good, I reckon.
But I feel like that's probably ahead of the curveball and that could actually hurt them in the following couple of years if they make a finals now.
You know,
and Cats?
No, Cats don't deserve to be there, to be honest.
Cats, I just don't want to see them in the finals.
I reckon Adelaide would give them a shake. They're not. I reckon they'd give them a shake. But to be honest, I don't think anybody outside the top 5 has got a chance of winning it.
Adelaide is...
St Kilda, don't waste your time. Sydney, just making up the numbers. Western Bulldogs, they're putrid at the moment, let's be honest. When you got Tim English kicking out a fullback, which it looks like the baby giraffe learning how to walk.
Poor fella.
That's what it looked like him. You get paid the big bucks, you got to do the big things. All right, so top 5 is really what it's going to come down to. And Melbourne play Hawthorn this week. The Giant Killers, could they get another scalp? I don't know. We'll find out very, very shortly, J-Dog. I reckon. Lots of chat is going bananas at the moment. We've got either Suns get picked 4, GWS to go through. Nobody wants to get into the 8. Oh, no, nobody wants to get into the 8, and nobody wants to drop out of the 8. Everybody is tanking. So I reckon we get into some magnet work, J-Dog. And I want to...
Haley off, Ellingworth on. Bloody weak as piss.
Happy Monday. All right, so I wanted to highlight, unfortunately, to the Chad. Chad Wingard went down with a serious Achilles injury. Now, that's not a way that you want to get injured, let alone finish your 2023. He's going to be out of the footy for 12 months. I've had an Achilles Rico, completely different to what he had. Mine was voluntary. His wasn't. And so I feel sorry for the bloke because he's had a pretty good 6 weeks of footy and he goes down with an Achilles. And if you have a look at the footage, it looked like someone's shot him from behind the grassy knoll. It was not good at all, too. So all I can say is all the best to the Chad for your next 12 months of rehab because he's at that age. Will he go around again? Probably, but is he going to be back to what he was? Definitely not. Look, I'm just going to say it now, Jamie, the umpiring on Friday night, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into it. But when you take a mark on your chest in the Bay 36 snack bar and the umpire calls it actually in, there's something wrong with the game. And you can get a sheepdog handball around in the third row of Bay 46 like J. Cameron did and kick a goal. There's something very, very different wrong with the umpiring. So I'm leaving it at that. Paddy McCartan and Nick Nat retiring. Okay, both due to career-ending injuries and will hopefully be remembered for what they did in their careers. So Paddy McCartan, at least 10 concussions this guy's had. And if you ever look at the last one, very innocuous, but it's a shame. He got himself back up.
It was a tackle, wasn't it?
No, he just sort of fell to the ground. Like it was a tackle. It wasn't even a sling tackle. He just fell to the ground.
It's a tackle, yeah.
Clipped his head, yeah. And I think it was against Melbourne he did it too. So it was very, very innocuous how it happened. And Nick Nat, just chronic Achilles injury, just can't shake it. He was contracted for next year, but he's decided to pull the pin as well too. All right. And the last one, I'm dragging Harley Reid.
Oh.
Yep. Because the poor bloke has to go to West Coast, and that's just a waste.
What if Harley Reid is not the number one pick?
Whoever is number one, what a waste. They should just shut up shop.
Harley Reid, Victorian?
Yes, he would be.
That's all right. I mean, whoever is in the running in a couple of years' time after that initial contract runs up, just like Port with JH.
No, his contract wasn't up, mate. He still had another year.
Yeah, but...
He sucked it up. He sucked it up.
Yeah, but look
where?
Look how good he is now, though. Oh, my God.
Tucked in.
Spider-Man's everywhere.
Champagne showers.
I can understand why North are upset by it.
3 votes.
The Matildas won. Yeah, there was
can't
understand why they'd be
raised
all around the stadium. It was just an amazing feeling, sensational to be there. Something that I won't forget. Cozzy Pickett, have to give a good one to Cozzy Pickett. Now, for everybody, all the Melbourne supporters know this. He finally took that hanger. All season he's been jumping on people's shoulders and missing it by not inches, feet. He hasn't gotten near one, but he finally took one on the weekend. It was an absolute corker. He'll win Mark of the Year. Easy for that one. It was an absolute ripper. Now, can you just stick to kicking goals? Because that's all we need from you for the rest of the year. All right? The Giant Killers, we talked about it. The Hawks. Are they the best 16th placed team in the AFL that you've seen in most recent years?
No.
No. You don't reckon?
They've been pretty... 16 speaks for what they
no,
have been.
16th is 16th, but they've knocked off...
They've been shoddy. They've been shoddy.
They've knocked off the Bulldogs. They've knocked off Collingwood. But they're playing some pretty good footy, J-Dog. They're playing better. They're probably playing better footy than 4 of the teams above them. As Tommy Roker says, the Hawks are shithouse, and they got pumped by how much? We'll leave that one alone. And Port's Lightning Bolts and the Adelaide Dark Blue Crow Jumpers loved them. I want to see the blue bolt come out a little bit more. Those 3 bolts, J-Dog. Absolutely loved it. And the last one I want to go with is Ben Cunnington's goal. Did you see the celebration, everybody getting around BC when he kicked his goal in his last game? Smiles all around. That is what footy's all about. And Jabez Amlat is joining us on the chat as well too. Haven't seen him on here for a long, long time. Great to have you back. Love you getting into the show. And he says the Hawks are placed appropriately. Give them 2 years, they'll be flying. I think they're flying. And really not looking forward to playing them this week. So, J-Dog, that's the magnets, the votes, and the drags for round 22 of the AFL. Alrighty, over to you.
Love it. Do you want to go through the games?
Let's go through the games.
Or do you want to do...
Yeah, let's quickly do the games. I've got a couple other things, but we'll get to those in a minute. Let's go through the games for round 22. Friday night, Geelong versus Collingwood. I went to bed at 3/4 time for this one. I thought it was completely over. And was I wrong? Geelong. Just when you think that they're out.
Since we're being honest, I think I sort of started to get a bit nervous over the remote button in that third quarter, halfway through, and then Geelong just do what they do.
But they haven't done it all year. That's the thing.
Yeah. But Collingwood didn't accelerate away like they've done all year.
By the way, just to let you know, I posted a TikTok video. Yes, Lacey Out has a TikTok page as well too, and I posted up a video on the Sunday saying, Collingwood supporters, you were a little bit concerned, and it was their highest rating. I think it was like 3,500 views it had. A bit concerned. Moore's gone down. No Dacos. DeGoey looks a little bit banged up. It feels a little bit of Melbourne deja vu 2022 style, where they were looking a little bit shaky towards finals, and I'm not convinced with them at the moment. There's something that's not what they were at the start of the year. Have they spent all their petrol tickets too early? Have they peaked too early, J-Dog?
Well, I think they went 11 wins on the trot.
Right. Yep.
Not bad.
It's not bad, but premierships aren't won in August, are they?
That's certainly not.
Essendon stole victory from the jaws of defeat once again, 13-8 to 12 goals, 577, won by 9 points. Nick Larkey, could you imagine Nick Larkey in a good team? God. Imagine, I tell you what, Nick Larkey at Melbourne right now would be just the perfect match. It'd be Dexter and Greg Evans all over again.
Nah, you'd waste
Probably.
him.
Just Essendon.
In fact, you've already got a North Melbourne forward that you've completely wasted.
We've got a flag out of him.
Where is he now?
Injured. Yeah, Essendon, they don't deserve to play finals. After what they've served up in the last couple of weeks. And don't tell me because Stringer and Draper are out. Draper's been out for half the season and Stringer hasn't done anything at all. Return to sender that package. These two teams are just looking forward to 2023 and their eye beats the footy trips. Gold Coast versus Sydney. Now, I picked Gold Coast for this one. I thought their last few seasons, I said that Gold Coast would win this one because they love playing at Sydney. I think they've won their last couple down up there. Got it wrong again, J-Dog. What happened?
No faith.
No faith?
No faith.
Tommy Roker said that Touk Miller's the best tagger in the AFL. Didn't do that good of a job because they lost.
He's definitely a something tagger.
Yeah, whether it's bodies or agates.
He's a ball terror. He's a ball terror.
He's the Hopawate. The umpires gave it to the Swans by 4 goals. Tommy. Can't say that, Tom. Oh, I love him. I just love his passion for his sons.
Where are we again with these guys?
I don't know. Gold Coast?
No finals.
Well, would you like to hear the interesting news that was pretty much spoken about? You may know this already. People who are listening to this live or listening to the on podcast, even on YouTube. Hardwick signed for 5 years. Gold Coast confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Will be announced next week when he gets back into the country.
How many cash?
Here, no cash. Robbo, no cash.
It will be. I'm going to put the contract out. I'm going to say
ones. It'd be ones
per season. One. Ruse was reported at 1.5.
Yeah, I reckon the same.
I reckon 1.7.
So you know what that means, J-Dog?
What does it mean, Peps?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money.
Oh, ching, ching, bling, bling, dimmer, dimmer. And no Mrs. Hardwick to take any of that. It's good for the Suns. They need it. And they've got the best under 25 list going around. If they don't play finals or finish top 4 in the next 2 years, shut the joint down. They can merge with West Coast. Brisbane Lions. Oh, Adelaide. Geez, Adelaide. I thought at one stage they had this, and then Brisbane just went back into their shell again. They do that quite regularly when it gets a bit doinked in the last quarter. 6-point win. Geez, Brisbane, outside of the Gabba, they are very susceptible. They have to finish second more than your mob does.
I agree, and I was the same. I was barracking for the Crows, and I rarely do that. But I thought they had them. I thought they had them. Oh, well.
Thought they had them on toast, but they didn't have them on toast. And so, 6-point win. Brisbane pretty much gives them a chance to lock in. I think everybody wants to finish first, second, or fourth. No one wants to finish third because they're going to have to play the other interstate team interstate.
Yeah, correct.
So you want to finish fourth and play Collingwood?
You guys could finish fourth and still be all right because you're playing Collingwood.
Yep.
We don't want to be playing Collingwood in MCG first round.
I wouldn't mind. There's still going to be a few out, so we'll cross that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're still going to make.
Well, you guys are going to lock your four in first. We're going to lock our fourth
spot in. Which, after this weekend, after the 4-point loss, some people have said the game of the season. I'm not too sure if that is game of the season.
Oh, that should be one of our topics for later on.
You reckon?
I'll write that down, actually. Yeah, I'll write that down.
Okay.
Heard that a lot the last 20 years of football.
What's that?
Nothing. You continue the show, mate. I'll just make my own notes.
You just make your own notes because
I'll just have my own conversation.
Yeah, you might as well have an intelligent conversation once in a while. I will say this, go. Very, very boring first quarter. Second quarter, and then picked up after half time. I will say something. Carlton are awesome to watch live.
Finally.
Don't give me finally.
You've come to the church.
There's no church here, mate. There's no church here. All I'm saying is I watch them live and they have got their good setup. And
you've been telling me Carlton are shit. They're overrated.
I have said that for a long time.
collapse.
I have said that for a long time. But I was chatting to Brad Lloyd, their football manager, before the game for about 10 minutes.
Oh. Excuse yourself, pick up a name.
Yeah, I'll just pick up. Drop that name. Yeah, had a big chat to him for about 10 minutes before the game and just said, how's everything been behind the scenes? It's been in a pretty good nick in when things weren't going too well in the middle of the year. There was a lot of positivity around the club and it's paying off in spades. But their game plan is simple. In any doubt, they just go straight out the back and then they look for the option and they worked harder and they played well and Melbourne got themselves back into it. A couple of bad possessions late in the game. Salem's miss late was, I've never seen him do that bad. Didn't even hit it from 42 metres out. Couldn't even make the distance. Van Rooyen gets his legs taken out from under him, but they reckon that was a good smother attempt.
It was a smother.
Shut up, idiot. And they took his legs out. And then the Petrarca the hidden bullet, the magic bullet or the magic fingertip that touched the ball.
Second shooter.
No, the second shooter. The third shooter.
Peps.
Yeah, it wasn't in the book tower. It was in Tower 6.
Peps.
Yep.
It was touched.
Shut up, it wasn't touched.
The umpire called it touched.
Umpire said he thinks someone touched it. He didn't actually know if he did. He went, I think someone touched it.
He said, I believe it's been touched.
I believe it's been touched.
Can we just check with the
He either touched it or he didn't. So you don't go, I believed. No, he said, I think someone touched it. It doesn't matter. They got it wrong, and the technology's shit, and it's going to cost Melbourne a home final. Right, next game.
You guys have been on the end of the other side, on the other side of that before.
When?
You guys have had calls go your way.
Never.
You've never had a call go your way.
Not that I can remember. Hey, the Derby.
The Derby or the Derby, wherever you're from.
West Coast have had, I think, 5 100-point losses this year.
Yeah.
Collingwood have had 7 in their entire history. You've been on this one a lot. How does Adam Simpson and anybody in that facility look at themselves in the eye and go, you know what, we're doing a good job here? It is only going to get worse, and that's the bad thing about it.
I honestly think, and I know I chucked out a bit of crap to you on Saturday night, just a bit of bullshit, I love a conspiracy theory.
Yep. But
there must be something that this coaching group knows that the board are shit scared about it coming out if they just dump him.
If they dump him, it's going to be about a $7 million payout, they reckon.
I don't care. Do you care at this point?
Is the coach the issue?
That's where it starts with.
There's a lot of things that are wrong with that, John.
How do you?
It
does stick with the coach. How do you hold? Like starting COVID, cracking start.
Oh, and then they sucked it up when they had to go to Queensland.
And then from there, injury. Had all these old players they kept on to, and you get what you get.
Jade,
they didn't recruit.
Can I go through a couple of things? This is how bad they were. They had 35 inside 50s for the game, right?
Yep.
Fremantle had 64, so they had 29 more and still won by 100.
Mm-hmm.
They had 14 free kicks, so they couldn't even get near the ball. And if they did, they just gave free kicks away. They had 6 centre clearances. Freo had 15. Like, everywhere you look, it was a debacle. They had the ball in possession 31%. I've never seen a stat that low for an entire game.
Overall, Peps, I can't recall the last time I've seen a percentage at literally 50 on the dot. Melbourne weren't that bad.
Melbourne were 49, I think it was.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah, 49.
Oh, that's because you guys copped the 170 at one stage. So 170 and then 100 or something.
Something like that. We were really bad. I think we were 48 or 49%. That's how bad we were. But this mob, I can't remember a team having 5 100 pointers in a season.
And laughing about it.
Tommy goes that they're tanking. For what?
Successful. That's
it's
success.
Working. It's working.
Well done. You've got that.
No, absolutely shocking.
So
Shocking.
Peps, it has to be a full. I know that there's the contract figure there. They signed up Simo on a huge deal, 5 years. This is why you don't sign 5-year deals for coaches.
No, we've got to keep them hungry. It's just like players. You've got to keep them hungry.
So Peps, if you were the chairman, CEO, whatever it is of West Coast right now, what would you do?
Pay it out.
Yeah,
Pay it out.
You'd move on.
Pay it out.
Would you have done it at the end of the season or halfway through?
It's 2 more weeks. Pay it out. At the end of the season. Don't worry about it. We're paying you out.
I want to know
because you know what?
If
they can't have another season like that. They have to be shown to be doing something.
Isn't there performance clauses in contracts?
I think they've got a lack of performance clause.
What? How do you write? I want that. Who is his manager? I want that manager.
I don't know who it is, but it's just crap, J-Dog. Like we've given West Coast a pasting all season. They won't get, and the thing is that they're not going to get any priority picks because 5 years ago they won a flag.
Yeah.
So they can't get priority picks. No one should get priority picks. Priority picks should be just scrapped, full stop. Don't get them. If you shit, too bad. It's an excuse.
What is the fall of? I should go back and have a look, but so Flag, Dom Sheed, hero, legend.
Yep.
And then what? The next 3 years have been on the bottom, something like that. Last 3 years.
I think it's pretty much yeah.
Something
Check
like
it
that.
out for you. You keep talking.
Yeah, rightio.
You go through the games. Go through Doggies and Hawks.
Oh, thanks, Peps. I've got a list here. I know where I'm going. There's one here. Doggies and Hawks. You know what? I'm not going to go through. Yeah, we'll go through Doggies and Hawks. I just want to know. I want to know and be in that box for the last 5 minutes of the Doggies versus Hawks. I want to know what Beveridge is thinking because they completely shut the bed again, and then to cap it all off at the very end of the game, they have English kicking in from the back line. There's a minute left, if that, and instead of just going the old torp down the middle or just bomb it down the middle, he goes for a bit of a what's that? What's those two walkers called? Burke and Wills. He Burke and Wills it around the back line. He takes 3 bounces in about 15 metres and then kicks it to the wing to a 2-on-1.
There was only every time I watch that footage, all I can think is this.
No sound.
Oh, it's the best because he's like, "Where am I going? Where am I going? I don't know where to go. Bounce, bounce, bounce," and then kicks it to a 2-on-1.
But Peps, this is a serious issue for Western Bulldogs because there is an issue there with these guys closing games out, and they get to a point where they don't know what they're doing.
No, they're pretty bad. They are pretty bad.
And we have this same conversation. This season, where they seem like Beveridge is out of ideas or doesn't give enough guidance on the field. And beyond that, and I'm going to say the next person has completely screwed our topic for the week between the finals end of the season. You know, topic we're going to talk about, part of our chit-chat.
Yep, chit-chat.
He screwed it. Without Bontempelli, who is the leader in that club?
Libba.
Yeah.
Outside of Libba and Bolt, don't ask me who their next leader is.
Don't know?
No.
Because they've got no on-field leadership.
I maybe Liam Jones from a back line perspective, from a forward line perspective.
But if that's what's coming out of the back line,
no, I don't think they've got leaders. I don't think they've got any leaders. If you
issues, Western Bulldogs.
Well, your West Coast question.
Yes.
I do actually have the responses here. So they won
Thank
the
you.
flag in 2018.
Yes.
2019. Now I'm going at the end of the season ladder. Okay,
Yes.
so it's just easier to do it that way. 5th in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
2020, they ended up on 5th again. Okay, so
Mhm.
they've had a good run.
Yep.
2021,
Yep.
they finished 9th.
Just aside. Yep.
Right. 2022, they finished 17th.
Okay.
And they went from 10 wins down to 2.
Jesus.
10 wins down to 2. So they talk about, playing West Coast and the Doggies. West Coast and North is good for you. Mate, imagine you mention, oh, shit, we got West Coast twice this year. I
Went
asked you,
from 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
Yeah.
That's a big drop. Melbourne had a massive drop when they went from 2018 to 2019. That was a big drop that year. But that's massive.
But you think about this, that is 2 wins in the whole year. As a supporter, I would be fucking losing it.
Yeah, but mate, you get used to it after a while. When we get to 4, we don't know what to do. Double
2
figures.
wins.
It's like Haley's Comet.
I reckon that would break me mentally as a supporter. 2 wins. You wouldn't want to watch the games. You'd just be like, I'm doing something else.
You don't. You don't.
2.
You don't.
So they've had two-
Watch a lot of movies that year.
They've had 2 seasons of 2 wins.
Yeah. They won't get a priority pick. You can't go from 10 wins and then go 2-2 and that's it. No. I've got to talk to you about St Kilda and Richmond. St Kilda get the biscuits over Richmond.
Surprising? Not surprising? Where are you with this one?
I'll pick St Kilda for this one.
Not great timing for McQualter.
I think the team's checked out towards the end of the year. You can't put the blame on him because Dimmer had the team and then gave it away because he knew he was getting a bucket load from Gold Coast. McQualter, you know what? I don't see any. They want an experienced coach. I don't know which experienced coaches you can go for. They're not going to go for Stewie Dew. They're not going to go for Ken Hinkley because he'll get an extra 2 years, which I'll ask you about very, very shortly when we get into your game. Uzo's put his name in lights for it as well too, and probably a couple of others. Josh Carr's not going to go for it as well too because he's going to get the Adelaide coaching job. Port Adelaide coaching after Ken goes. So unless they say Ken goes to Richmond, why wouldn't they? And Tommy Roker's written here, Mark McVeigh. They don't want They said they want an experienced coach. They want something. So the only person they can go for is McQualter because he's been doing it. I can't see anybody else.
And he was under,
Rodney Eade.
He was under Dimmer.
Maybe Gary Ayres.
Yeah. The unfortunately for McQualter is, interim coaches very rarely get turned into full-time coaches.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunate. All right.
Fair enough.
But with St Kilda, well done, St Kilda. You're teasing your supporters. You can do that one week, and you can play like utter garbage the other weeks.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Does not make any sense. All right. J-Dog, did you hear me when I had the music going before? Did you hear it?
No, it's not working. I told you it's not working for me. I just ignore it though, Peps, because I think
You're going to tell me it's not working?
No, but I thought it was just me all the time.
No, it usually comes through, but didn't come through tonight.
That's right. Anyway, talk about my game. Talk about your game.
Yeah, let's talk about your team. Your
Okay.
game. All right. 51-point win, Port Adelaide.
Great win. Great win.
Kenny's signing up for another 2 years.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, no, he is.
Look, I'm not wrapped about that, but I mean, at the same time, I wait until the contract's there until I can. Look, the fact that Josh Carr has withdrawn from the Richmond race is encouraging, and if that means there's a succession plan or a handover or a Ken goes to Richmond or a Ken gets one and then +1 with Carr as an assistant, I don't know what permutation and what combination they can put that together, but I wouldn't mind that. In terms of the game, that's the Port Adelaide that was there 5-6 weeks ago. I don't know what the last 4 weeks have been. I think injury and illness has absolutely rocked the club the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I also think that GWS aren't as bad as what we saw as well.
Yep, exactly right. It's ridiculous, mate. It is ridiculous. This coaching merry-go-round, my goodness, it is just it's a fun time extravaganza for everybody as well too.
Yep.
And for the people on the chat, saying it again, Richmond wants an experienced coach. That excludes Mark McVeigh. That excludes Adam Uze. They're still going to put their hands up, but they've said they're ideally. Anyway, let's move on. All right, Rising Star. Hey, Rising Star for round 22. Elijah Hewitt being rewarded for his first season, round 22 from West Coast. It was a tough day at the office for the young man there. 100. Imagine getting the Rising Star in a 101 point defeat.
Yeah, no, they're just giving them out now.
20 disposals, 10 contested, an equal team high, 4 clearances, and took 3 marks.
No, I'll give them out.
They're just trying
giving them out now.
They're just giving them out now. It's like participation awards.
Yeah,
but hey, good on him. Good on him. Journey to the draft. Our boy Jacob Grant. Back to local footy last weekend because the Coates League has been off for the last couple. Kicked 2 goals, 2 for his local club. Back at the Dandenong Stingrays for the final 2 games. Needs to have a couple of blinders to get invited to the draft combine. And I have faith that the big man is going to nail it. And last and not least, before we get into tonight's topic, Bags is being playing because when it comes to Bags, the great man, Jeremy Cameron, was 7 on Friday night against the Cats. Got to love a bit of Bags, J-Dog. It's time to get into J-Dog's topic, or our unnamed particular segment that went down pretty well last week. What are we going to call it? The J-Down? The Low Down?
J-Down.
Bench Warmers?
Bags, we love it when they kick 'em. Bags, it's gotta be
Squirrel Grip?
Suggestions.
Come here, boys. I don't know. We need it. It's a topic of the week that J-Dog wanted to address. Actually, I brought this one up, but
No, you did. You roll with you roll with it.
I'll roll with it. Okay. Well, we're getting towards the end of the season, and so I thought, you know what? Every club, commentator, player is just rolling out the cliches. So I thought J-Dog. I said to J-Dog today. I said, J-Dog, why don't we have a cliche draft? So what we're going to do is we're going to toss the coin. Heads or tails, J-Dog?
Heads.
Beautiful. Would you like to take the first pick, or would you like to go last? What would you like to do?
Are we gonna go with our
Alternates.
Descending?
No, you just go first, I go second. You go third, I go fourth. You go fifth, I go sixth. All right, so you're going to go first? So with the first draft pick, J-Dog is going to go with his number 1 cliched comment in the league. And we're going to work down, and I think we're going to have around about... Well, I've written about 12 down. I reckon you've done something similar. So we might get 10 each. But let's just see how it goes. All right, J-Dog. For the number 1 draft pick, what is the most used or cliched comment coming out of AFL circles now?
Being in the draft, and I'm going to go with this at the start of the season, it is setting PBs.
Oh, no, didn't have it.
People have a setting PBs. Everyone's setting PBs, Peps.
Yep.
Everyone's setting PBs in their 3K. Everyone's setting PBs on the bench.
Yep. Well, very, very similar. One that I've been hearing a hell of a lot of, and this is probably David King's favourite at the moment, is that when teams are playing well and players are doing some hard-earned work, but they're finally going to get their rewards, they're going to get, that's right, their lick of the ice cream.
Oh, he loves that one.
He loves a little bit of lick of the ice cream. Yeah.
Love it. All
right.
I've got another one here.
Yep.
And it's a classic.
Yep.
It's a classic that every player goes to in a post-game.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just going to take it 1 week at a time.
Oh, yes, I had that. That was my number 1. That was my number 1 draft. That was my number 1 pick. That was my number 1 pick was that one. Buddy, fucking hate you. All right, well, that means that if we're going to talk about that, we're talking about teams taking it 1 week at a time. A lot of that time they're actually doing it within the 4 walls. They're doing it within the 4 walls. We're going to go, that was my number 4. Yep, that was my number 4.
All right, mine is when commentators say it's been a game of 2 halves.
Oh, no shit. Been doing it for over 100 years.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, we know that. We know it's been a game of 2 halves. Thank you.
Well, if you want to take it one step further, J-Dog, I'm going to go for my pick 6 in the draft, is that, there's going to be a few of them this weekend. Next, an 8-point game.
The old double pointer.
Oh, the old double pointer. It's an 8-point game, this one.
Yep. Another one I've got here on mine is when commentators say this, I say it every week.
Yeah.
It's finals like footy out here.
Oh, good one. Didn't have that one at pick 7. That's not a bad one. I reckon you've got that one cheap. I reckon you've got that one very, very nicely.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. It's it always tends to pop up when somebody gets interviewed, either after a game and they've had a great win, or they've been on a series of wins and they've been playing some really good football, and they're asking how they've been fitting in and how everything's going, and they're just saying, "I'm happy to be doing the role for my team."
Oh, the role player.
Oh, get stuffed.
What a bloke.
Fucking roll.
What a legend.
Wow.
He's happy to play his role.
Play his role. Bullshit. Could you see any of them? Any of them say that in the old days? I'm just doing my role. Fuck
Just
off.
doing my role.
Mate, I kicked 16 today. How bloody good was I?
Just doing your role.
Just doing my role.
All right. In inauguration of in whatever that is,
Pick
inauguration
nine we
for
have.
Ken Hinkley's 2-year contract extension coming this way.
Yeah.
We've just got to work harder for longer.
Oh.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, mate. Thank you, Ken. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Well, if you're going to go your coach, I'll go my coach with Simon Goodwin. Happens every single week. I could script his press conferences.
Presser, yeah.
Yep. And it's been creeping into a few others, but it's always him at the moment, especially when things are going well and we're playing footy. Not just any footy, our brand of footy.
Oh, our brand.
Our brand of
You've
footy.
got your brand of football.
Your brand of footy. Oh, kiss
That's
me.
also a David King lover. He loves
He
that one
loves
as well.
that. He loves that.
What's
All right. What do we
their
got? Number
brand?
11. Number 11.
It's when players
Yeah.
post game and they're going all right, and they say to the commentator or the person interviewing them, "No, we don't read the papers." Bullshit.
Bullshit.
You are Googling yourselves. You are reading the papers. You are getting the fluffs up. You're getting the old half chub. You're reading the papers.
Mate, if you're anything like me when I was a kid, I used to cut my name out of the community news and stick it up on the fridge. I still did it at the age of 37.
I don't read the papers. Bullshit.
I know. Oh, it just gives me the shits. All right, pick number 12. I'm going. This is a bit of an oldie and a goodie. It is very, very cliche. More commentators don't hear it from the players, but if you hear it from the old school players, and we've got a guest coming on in a moment, is bad kicking is bad football.
I think I say that every week, but yes,
Bad
I
kicking
love
is
it.
bad football. Bad kicking is bad football.
It's
All
true.
right.
My turn?
Yep, your turn. Number 13.
All right. They're sending a message. What are they sending?
What message are they sending?
What are they sending? What message are they sending?
I don't know.
I don't know. What are they sending? We're sending a message. We're going to kill you.
Oh,
We're sending a message. We're going to kick lots of goals.
We're going to win?
They're just sending a message, Peps.
Oh, they're just sending a message.
They're sending
All
a
right.
message to the comp. Is it an email?
I don't know. Maybe is it a carrier pigeon?
It's a
Carrier
pigeon.
pigeon. Carrier pigeon. All right, pick 14 is someone kicks his first goal and they've got to get around him, boys. Kicks his first goal, get the Gatorade out, get around them, boys, is one that
That's
they throw around the field. They
true.
do. All right, pick 15, J-Dog.
Yep. Okay,
Ooh,
pick
now,
15.
see if we can get a diamond in the last couple. Yep.
All right. So, I am sick of hearing this every week. Monday morning, Sunday night, whatever it is. That was the game of the season. Every week.
How many have we heard already?
I think yours was the game of the season, Melbourne v Carlton. I think there was a Port Adelaide versus Melbourne game of the season. There's a Port Adelaide Collingwood game of the season. There's
It's every week's a game of the season.
West Coast Essendon game of the season.
Oh, alrighty, okay. All right, I think. Oh, geez, now I'm looking at my list here, and I've got to try and figure out one. All right, right. I think we're going to go with this one. I think I'm going to go with when the team's playing all right and things are going okay, we are up and about.
Oh, up and about.
Off and about. That was pick 16. I think we
Love
got two each, and I'm really struggling with my last 4 draft picks.
All right.
I might have to tag somebody in a moment.
All right, I got another one here. We just didn't execute on the night.
Oh, you beautiful. Nice one. Nice one.
Yep.
Oh, I just want to execute on the night. All right.
Just didn't execute. Rightio.
Jeez.
I got one that shits me.
Oh, you can't say that's going to be your last one.
I know. It shits me to tears. It's more of a personal grudge for me.
Is it?
Oh, because I've heard it so many times.
All right. Ooh. Jeez. Oh, what have I got left? Did I go? And I've got to ask. Did I go with happy to get the 4 points?
No, that's a
we were
good
just
one.
happy to get. I've got that at 18.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Just happy to get the 4 points. Just
That's
happy to
when-
get the 4 points.
Also known as, we almost fucked that.
Oh. Oh,
That's
I love
what
it.
you say. That's what you say when you almost fucked it up.
Oh, we're just happy to get the 4 points.
We won't talk about it. We're just happy to walk off the ground today.
Was that a special, or was that your number 19?
No, that was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a priority pick, was it?
That was a good one. I hate it when coaches go into the presser
Yeah.
and they've had a dirty night
Yeah.
and they just sit there and they go, look, the better team won on the night and full congratulations to them. Hate when coaches say
Fuck
that.
off. This is not.
Don't say that.
Don't be woke.
Don't
Get
be
broke.
Be
Oh,
mad. Go in there and do a Ricky Stewart and just walk just walk out.
Just
Just be furious.
be Mel Meninga. Why are you standing for election? This is too hard.
Well, just imagine Melbourne, like all the behind you guys kick, and you're saying, "Oh, the better team won." No, fuck, we were way better.
No,
we just
were
couldn't
shit.
kick.
We
just
were
couldn't
shit.
kick straight.
We were shit. Oh, unbelievable.
Just say that.
Oh, Jodo, I've got to get my last one. I've got my last one on the tip of my tongue.
I think your 4 points is a good one, though. It's a bit of a diamond.
Yeah, that was a bit of a
draft.
Rough. Yeah, that one
Yeah.
was sitting quite a low one down. All right. I might have to go with, and I did want to play this one because it's more of an administrative one. But I always say this one a fair bit, where it's you got to get the off field right to get the on field right. At pick number 20, I think there's 20 picks there in the draft as well too.
Yeah.
But can I go maybe one more with pick 21?
You sure can.
Well, I'm not going to go with pick 21. Our guest speaker, we've spoken about him a little bit so far tonight. I'm going to bring the great man in. Tucker, everybody, is here to join us to say hi. How are you, big guy?
Oh, thanks, Coach. You put me in.
Well, you
like
asked me 15 times to put you in. I've put you in.
It's like there's 2 minutes to go and we're down by 10 goals. You gotta put me in. Thank you, Mr. Peps.
Great news coming out of Gold Coast. Are you excited, Big Kev?
Oh, mate. Look, all right. Inside word, Dimmer is 100%. You're on it, Peps. You've got the early call. It's a lay down, Mazaire. He was the obvious pick, but yeah. Sorry to do it, you, mate. You copped it all.
Don't be disingenuous, Tom. You were dancing on his grave from early on.
Oh,
You were sinking the boots in from round 3.
J-Dog, hang on. I've always been a supporter of Dewey Dew, but
You have.
this year, he, yeah. It's
Just
a tough-
winding you up, Tom.
journey.
Just winding you up.
It's a tough journey. The Suns have played. How many games have the Suns played at home this year, Peps?
9.
No.
8.
They've got one more, and that'll be 9. 9 out of 23 home games.
How come?
Well, they played the 2 at Darwin, and Darwin's come up good for us. But, mate, no other club in the whole competition has to play so many away games. We're travelling all the time. Sixth youngest list, and when we say sixth youngest list, Jesus, it's the team is just every week.
I got a question to ask you, Tommy.
Come up, go down, they come up, and it's inconsistent. Dimmer is going to come in and just shape it up, and if they're not going to shape up, they'll ship out, and it's going to be a different team next year. I said top 4, Peps.
You did.
How wrong?
Yeah.
How wrong?
Can I ask a question, Tom? I'm just throwing this up, and I'm hopefully hit the dartboard on this one. But have you been celebrating Dimmer's arrival a little bit tonight?
Yeah, mate. It's Monday night. I don't operate on the 9 to 5. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I go Wednesday to Sunday.
So I'm tipping that's a yes.
Yeah. Well, I already showed you in the pre-game. I'm not actually drinking Queensland beer because Queensland beer is bloody awful.
Oh, it's that bad you just had to get rid of more and more cans of it.
Well, fellas, you guys have done a bloody brilliant job tonight. And J-Dog, how great is it for you to come back and jump in the chair on the Monday night? Crap for me. I jumped I walked into your open grave and had one show, and it was on a Tuesday night. But fellas, you've done the most brilliant job. Love what you do.
Oh, thanks.
Absolutely love what you do.
Thanks, Tom.
Awesome.
And we've been doing this for 3 years now. In the pre-season.
Yep.
Thanks for letting me jump in.
When you're bringing this every season, like you're too sober in the pre-seasons. I want you to even be more honest when we get to the pre-season next year.
Usually it's like don't drink and drive, but please drink and podcast.
Please drink and podcast.
Gold Coast Suns have got the most amazing kids coming through. It's unbelievable. But we'll save that for another podcast because perhaps you wouldn't believe the amount of players who retire on the Gold Coast and bring their kids up through the Gold Coast Suns Academy, including a young Demons father-son.
Jeff White's son.
3 kids in the Gold Coast Suns Academy.
Who's that?
Yeah. And Kalani White is coming through in 2 years.
He'll be at the D's.
But there's two younger boys who are coming through after him.
They'll be at the D's.
There's as many good Sons Academy boys coming through as there are father-sons boys coming through the Sons Academy.
Have you had a can for every one of the father-sons?
Are you seeing more sons than there actually are available out there? Are you seeing double?
Just because I've got my reflective glasses on, it's green. That's why it's going a bit blue.
Oh, so, Tom, you're a classic.
Now, fellas.
Yes, Tom.
The Suns have played so many away games. Port Adelaide and Adelaide, 13 games in South Australia. Thank you.
Tommy, it's always a classic, mate. Yeah, I have you on any time. Just he shoots me the message on the chat, everybody. Put me in, coach. And we put you in. And we're about to wrap this bad boy up. So we're going to say hoity-toity.
Don't be a stranger, Tom.
Join in. Everybody, if you want more Tommy, put it in the comments because, hey, we thought the Who were the only one who could have Tommy. We want more Tommy.
I would have shaved for you, Peps, if I'd have been prepared.
Oh, no, I'm leaving that one right alone. All right. We'll see you soon, Mr. Roker.
See you, Tom. He's so funny.
He's loose. Hey, all right. So, everybody, that was a rampaging Tommy Roker. Just decided to drop in and say hi to everybody. So, look, I said, if you want to join in the show, leave a message in the chat whilst we're live. We'll get you on board, have a bit of a chat with you as well, too. Because, like I said, we do the show for everybody about you. Hey, it's a part of the show that has gone Cocoa Bananas, Mick Malloy style. We know it as Jamie's Fantail, but it is the Fantail part of the show. J-Dog, Fantails, for everybody who doesn't know, everybody outside of Australia, Fantail is one of the greatest ever confectionery items put on this earth, and they are getting put into the grave very, very shortly. So we're just celebrating the fantail and a bit of audience participation. Over to you, big boy.
Yeah. All right. Fantail. Who am I time? Let me get that and I'll sit that there so I don't eat it like I did last show and almost die trying to talk.
We had to put the subtitles on last week.
I'm sorry. I feel like I was talking like the bag of marble. All right. Let's go. Oh, Peps, this is really annoying. You know when you get a fantail packet that's almost got enough for 2 Who Am I's?
Oh, they split
but
it
the bottom
halfway down
line
the
or
page.
2 is chopped at the bottom? It's so annoying. Anyway.
Just go with it. Make the first part up. I was born. They just like...
All right. Here we go. What movie am I... Oh, fantails are getting a bit spicy. That's a bit spicy. You're mixing it up. What movie am I? Oh, for fuck's sake. Based on the 7 fantasy novels by British writer J.K. Rowling and starring Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint and Emma Watson, this film series has become one of the most successful franchises in movie history. The first of the 7 films released in 2001. 4 different directors have worked across the 7 films, including Chris Columbus, Alfonso Cuarón, C-U-R-L. It's a name that looks. It's a name that looks like it's been with the Carlton back line. Mike Newell and David Yates.
Oh.
When Rowling sold the film rights of the first 4 books to Warner Brothers, she demanded that the principal cast be kept strictly British.
Oh, that's very nice.
What movie am I?
What movie series am I?
What? Just as what movie? But yeah, you can just.
What movie series?
I mean,
if you know the answer to that one, and if you don't,
Fantails have really dropped the ball.
Remember, you used to have no clue. Then you had to look up an encyclopedia. Now it's just too easy.
Oh, and even the second one, Peps.
Right, go the second one. Let's go a daily double for this one. We've got a bit of time.
No, because it's even just as shit.
Okay.
I'm furious. I'm livid, Peps. I'm getting red because I'm angry. All right, what movie am
I
I?
thought it was just a lack of melatonin, but
No, it's definitely anger. Anger right now. The first sentence gives us away, Peps. I'm furious.
not like the last one gave it away in the first sentence.
You
You need to just like fix up your fantails because Tommy wants it cancelled if it doesn't get
All
better.
right. What movie am I? Directed by Peter Jackson and filmed in his home country of New Zealand.
God's sake.
Sake.
Why are they
Fantails.
started with the...
Who are these aimed at? Because I can tell you when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, these were not
No,
aimed
we
at
had
people
we had
my
Sophia
age.
Loren and Marlene Ackerman and
These used
My
to,
Left
like,
Foot.
you need to almost pass a Mensa test to
they were
pass some of these
difficult.
back in the day.
They were difficult.
This is ridiculous, Fantails. I can see why you're getting cancelled.
No, I don't know.
No one's getting challenged
I
by
think
this.
they're dialing him in too.
I'm going to continue with the segment, but I need to find a new confectionery that has a Who Am I quiz attached to it or
We'll
something.
figure something out because those fantails, we might have to go to the Chico quiz. All right, really quick,
Anyway.
J-Dog, 1 week at a time before we wrap this
Yep.
one up. Round 23, 2 rounds of footy to go. Either you're planning for finals or you're planning your end-of-season trip. What are you looking at for this week? Eyes on the prize heading into the second last round of footy.
Eyes on the fries this week. Ooh.
There's some cracking games.
Ooh.
There's some really good games.
Obviously, Collingwood, Brisbane for me.
At Marvel
and Port
too.
Adelaide's sake. At Marvel.
Yep.
So that's gonna be under the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And I reckon the Brisbane Lions are a shot at that one. The ground at Marvel.
I
Yes.
don't think so. Don't rate them.
Could be tasty.
Their midfield's playing pretty bad footy at the moment. Don't like it.
I'm gonna go Saints and Cats.
Yep. That's actually going to be a good one. Who loses that doesn't make finals, I reckon.
And as you said, the Hawks Melbourne game because they've been the Giant Slayers
they've
recently.
been the Giant Slayers, yep.
And that's probably it. I'm not really interested in it.
There's actually one other game, Adelaide-Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
If Sydney lose that one, they pretty much have to beat Melbourne the week after. And if Melbourne lose to Hawthorn this week, it's going to be like a toiga for them to keep their top 4.
And also, actually, even GWS.
I know,
good.
there's
That's got proper finals on
There
it.
is just it's just, I love it. I love footy.
You know what?
Footy's the winner.
Giants versus Essendon is my game of the week.
Yeah, I'm actually looking. I'm looking forward to Gold Coast Carlton.
Really?
I am. Could you imagine? Because if Gold Coast beat Carlton, Carlton can't make top 4.
Come on, Peps.
Gold Coast will come out and beat Carlton this week. I'll say it now. I'll say it now. Gold Coast beat Carlton.
Has Tom breathed on
Tom's
you?
went and got another
cold breath.
Tommy just went and got another can.
Has he breathed on you
He's
or
up,
something?
he's up to
You
10. He's
drunk?
up to his 10th. He's up to his 10th can. All right, we're up to the end of an amazing episode. For everybody who joined us on the chat live, Tommy Roker, special guest. We didn't even know he was going to be on the show until he popped his head in. For everybody watching us on the streams live, and everybody's going to catch up with us on the podcast and also on YouTube, thank you very much. We do it because you love it and we love you. So that is your round 22 AFL review brought to you by the great man, Jamie the J-Dog Wallis, and myself, Christopher Pepper. J-Dog, we've only got a couple of weeks left of this one, but before we get into finals footy. But for everybody out there, we finish it off with just the greatest tagline in podcast history, which is Jamie Wallis of the Lace Out Podcast. How do you want your footy?
I want it to lace out.
Fantastic. And one last one.
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy, how do you like your footy?
Lace out!
See you, listeners.
See you, listeners.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of Lace Out. Head over to iTunes and Spotify to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. And remember, join us every single Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, on our Facebook page with yours truly, Christopher Pepper, and the co-host with the most, Jamie Wallis, giving you your footy how you want it. Lace out.